All right. So these are the Paul 100% Pure cranks. I just received them this morning. I realized that there are no videos on these cranks. There's not a whole lot of information on YouTube aside from Paul components themselves, and I just received them, and I thought I'd go through a walkthrough on why I would buy these and why I think they're a great crank for literally anybody, except for maybe crit racers or big speedy boys. But this is them here. And you can see that there's a SRAM 3-bolt design, and so that is going to allow you to run any crank BCD. I'm going to start off with a 3-bolt 42 tooth on my bike, and then I'm going to get a 110 adapter, 110 BCD adapter for running whatever size I might want. Cane Creek makes a 1x and 2x adapter that is 3-bolt mount. These are a 165 length. Typically I run 172.5, but I wanted to try something new, and I don't have the longest legs ever. I'm about 5'10", so I thought these would be a good kind of middle ground, and hopefully it'll feel really nice. So a little background on why I personally would buy these and why a lot of people may want something similar to this. White Industries makes a crank that is super similar, but they have their own proprietary chain rings, which I don't love. They're about $100 a chain ring. These can take anything. So I bought a All-City Gorilla Monsoon earlier this year, and I've slowly been building it up to be my forever bike, or my do-it-all, all-road, all-gravel bike. And that bike has a 73mm bottom bracket shell. So finding a good through axle crank set is hard to find. I bought a GRX crank set, not really realizing that I that I wasn't going to be able to fit it. So square taper is a great move for something like that, where you have kind of like a cumbersome bottom bracket shell. Yeah, you can buy Easton, you could buy Praxis, you can buy cheaper options, but I didn't want it. I wanted something super nice and super premium, and I wanted something that I can take on any bike that I build for from now on. This will stay with me. I think they're really, really pretty in this silver unpolished color. They also do a pewter, a purple, a black, and then a polished silver. Yeah, I just wanted to make a video and talk a little bit about why someone would want these. I think that they have a lot to offer people that maybe can't find the right cranks for them, and need something, they don't mind a square taper bottom bracket. There's a lot of really good square tapers out there. If you watch any of the Soma Fab videos, he talks a ton about why the square taper is still super relevant today, and why there's a lot of good things about it. The only downside for certain people is having a little bit of flex in that bottom bracket. But for someone like me who's about 135 pounds, I've never noticed a difference. And it's been super nice. It feels really, really great. I bought an IRD N95, I think it's called, from Sobafab after watching some of their videos. And I think it'll pair really nicely. Another really great benefit of these is, with a square taper bottom bracket, you can you can get your perfect chain line, right? So you can dial in exactly the chain ring offset that you're going to be using, and then you get that perfect bottom bracket spindle length. I've gone through several bottom brackets trying to find the right one, and it's been super frustrating. There's not a ton out there that will work just as good as these. The White Industries are fantastic. Appleman makes fantastic cranks as well. But, these are great. They're made in Chico, California. It's, I think, 6061 American-made aluminum. They're really great. Anyhow, I will probably make more videos going down the line about these cranks and about other bike-related things. But there's not a whole lot of information on this, so I thought I'd put something out there. Sweet. If you like, great. If you don't, that's okay too.